Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you all into a quick video. I didn't have very long as usual. I'm right in between meetings with work, so I decided to just pop this on and kind of get it together for you. I'm going to do future videos on this, but I just wanted to give you some basic information. And I want to start off by saying that I honestly have had quite the love affair with all gemstones, but blue zircon and colored zircons has been one of my favorites. And I'm going to throw this video together just to give you a quick visual account for what blue zircons are and what zircon stones are in general. They're thought of being around 4 billion years old. So that is what science has said, that zircon as a gemstone is about 4 billion years old. And what you're looking at in this example is a line bracelet from the 1920s loaded with gem grade blue zircon. Zircon is frequently confused with cubic zirconia, and zircon is a naturally occurring gemstone. So it's out of the ground, and it's a natural occurring gemstone, and it's absolutely stunning. These are transitional cut gemstones in this bracelet. And again, being from the 1920s, it's set in sterling silver with kind of these, if you will, 6-prong Tiffany heads. Let me try and focus in on this. There we go. If I block out the background, I think we'll be okay. There we go. But look at these zircon gems. And thank you so much for joining me on this very quick video, giving you some visual history of zircon and how it was used in jewelry. The Victorian time period loved using zircon as a gemstone, and that continued through the 1940s. So zircon was widely used in jewelry. Here's another zircon, and this is blue zircon. Let me open this up for you. And thank you again for joining me. I'm so excited about these videos that are coming because I had been asked to do some quick tutorials on gemstones. And what I wanted to do with these is give you enough information. Let me zoom in on this one. Give you enough information visually that then you can go do additional research on zircon or fire agate or aquamarine or emerald or ruby or sapphire, any of the stones that I'm going to talk about in the coming videos. I hope I inspire you enough to go do your own personal research. I don't like making these lecture series. You know, I could tell you about the refractive index of zircon. I can compare it to diamonds. I think the numbers are the RI of a zircon, or the refractive index, meaning what it pushes back to you in terms of its scintillation or its sparkle, how it reflects light. I think a zircon is around a 1.91 or 9.9. No, I'm sorry, 1.91 or 9. No, 1.92. There we go. I think it's 1.92. And then a diamond is a 2.42 or 2.41. It's somewhere in that neighborhood. So zircon has a beautiful dispersion and looks like diamonds. So throughout history, zircon was most certainly used to be a synthetic of diamond. But it is a natural occurring gemstone. And this one is heat treated. So I will tell you that this one, as a blue zircon, was definitely heat treated. I will show you some that aren't heat treated, but we're not there yet. This one is a pink zircon, and this one is 8.02 carat. Now, price per carat on zircon, you're probably going to be paying anywhere between, and again, this is a range, but you're paying between 150 and maybe 350 a carat, depending on the stone size and depending on its color and clarity. This one is a beautiful blush pink, dark color. I wish I could take it out of this envelope, but I simply don't have time right now. But that is an I think it's an 8.02 or an 8.20. I have the information on that one, but beautiful. And the reason I show you that is I bought a parcel of gemstones from a pawn shop, and I was a frequent flyer at pawn shops. And let me scoot these out of the way for you, and let me back out a little bit. There we go. We're a little close. There we go. And then this one, oh, I bought that out of a parcel. I lost track there for a second. I bought this this out of a parcel from a pawn shop, and I think I paid $65 for the whole vial of stones, and I think they thought this was a synthetic or possibly a pink tourmaline. But as soon as I saw the dispersion and that fire in that stone, that sparkle, that scintillation, that push and pull of the light and bouncing it around and sending it back to the viewer, really beautiful. And unfortunately, that's showing up a little bit dark. This one is magnificent. This one is a golden yellow zircon. And zircon comes in such a diverse array of colors: yellow, green, blue, you name it. Zircon pretty much can take the full spectrum of colors. This one does have a couple little chips on the table, from the table of the stone and into the crown. Pavilion, well, let's see. No, that's the crown. I was going to say pavilion, but no, pavilion's underneath the stone. Look at the red flash and the green flash that you get there. You get this red-green flash. The reason for that is it's such high dispersion of the light. Look at that green-red flash underneath it. Look at that. I mean, that is just magnificent. And this one is a 15.8 carat zircon. And look at how deep that stone goes. Oh, great. There's the money shot that I was looking for. But great, great, great. And in my videos, you know what I'm trying for? I'm trying to get you really up close on these things rather than printing a picture from a website and trying to talk to you about it without showing you the actual. So I will always show you things that I actually own and things that I love. So that is a beautiful golden zircon. Now, historically, I said, loved in the Victorian times. This one's a deco ring from the Art Deco time period. I had shown this in a past video, and again, I don't know why the light is so dim tonight. Here we go. There we go. Now we can light this up. There you go. Look at that for a blue zircon ring, and set in sterling silver. But again, it was sold to me as not a blue zircon for very little money. And I had covered this in a past video, but that's a very large blue zircon. Very, very large, very expensive stone. And I'm going to make several $100s on this one. Now remember, blue zircon is a very soft stone. So on the Mohs hardness scale, it's a very soft stone. Look at the little abrasions and the little wear on the table and the crown on that one. So there will be some wear on blue zircon, and you can get them repolished. This would need to be taken out of this mounting and then refaceted, but I loved that one very, very much. So we'll put that back in its box, and thank you again so much for joining me. This might seem a little haphazard, but blue zircon was mainly my favorite in the zircon family. Let's show this one that's been hiding. This one's been hiding in the back, and this stand is a mess because this has been on here, and it was in an exhibition. I won't lie, it was shown in an exhibition of gemstones and antique jewelry. So this one's platinum. People could say it's transitional between Edwardian and Art Deco, but it leans more Art Deco because of its angular style and its use of platinum and single cut and transitional cut diamonds that accentuate the platinum. So let me back out a little bit and let me lighten this up for you. There we go. We're going to lock that in for lighting. Look at those stones. Again, really beautiful because they look like blue diamonds. And that's what they were going for on an original platinum chain. And look at those. Really magnificent. Let's show you the back so you can look at construction of the metal from the 1920s, 1930s. Look at that platinum. How thick and how beautiful. And look at the thickness of the prongs. Pay attention to the craft of the metalwork on antique and vintage pieces, and that will assist you in finding some of the highest quality that money can buy from any given time period. But I think this zircon here is approximately, I think this one was 4 carats. This one was just under 4 carats. And then this one was 6.75 carats. But very beautiful blue zircon stones. Very, very, very beautiful. Now, on this one is one of my favorite zircon brooches. And let me zoom out to get the whole thing in for you. Let me zoom out. There we go. Now, this is this is a knockout, and I will take this out of here. Let me move all the rest of this out of the way. And again, I appreciate you bearing with me because, again, I feel panicked. And I shouldn't feel panicked because I'm amongst friends. So being one of the oldest gemstones on the planet, in the zircon family, there is a large variance in color, which I've talked about. Focus on the center stone in this platinum Edwardian brooch. It is Edwardian. It's around 1910 to 1912. And we can look at the pin mechanism. There you go. See, classic little fold over mechanism. And so we don't fight over the age on this. Someone's saying, oh, that's Art Deco. No, no, no. Don't go too crazy. Don't go crazy on me. Don't lecture me. So here is, we could say this is slightly transitional, but it's definitely Edwardian more than Deco. And zircon was used in references in the Bible because of its brilliance, and it was a very revered gemstone throughout the history of jewelry. This is a very large brooch, and it is platinum. And look at the way they bezel set these internally flawless zircons. So you might ask yourself, why is the center stone literally 3 different colors? So it leans a seafoam green, a kind of yellowish color, almost aquamarine, and then that Caribbean blue that zircon is so known for. The reason for that is the center stone, as you figured it out already, is not heat treated. So if you were to heat treat that center stone, it most certainly would probably look and turn out like these stones on the outside that are electric saturated even blue, Caribbean ocean blue. I have loved this brooch for so long, and note these wonderful bezels that hold these beautiful stones. And again, tip your pieces and look closely. Look at the variance between this profile and this profile. It's not just the way it was set in the metal. That stone was cut differently than this stone. Look how deep this stone is, and look how shallow that stone is. But these are all hand-faceted. These zircons were all completely hand-faceted back in the day. Great pride in gemstone cutting. And I love to talk about the history of gems and jewelry. It just makes me absolutely crazy. And I hope you know how much I love being here with you, because I truly do. So that zircon in the center is approximately 14 carats in the center of that brooch. So it's approximately 14 carats, might be just shy of that. It might be 13 and a half, but it's very deep. So look at the large culet. So when I talk about a culet, let me get my little pointer. So let me set that down for you and keep it focused. The culet that I just mentioned, let me get my little pointer. And thank you again so much as I fumble around in the background, and I'm so glad that I have things right where I need them sometimes. Oops, let's focus again. There we go. And I'm watching the clock because I know I'm going to be late to my appointment, and I don't want to upset the boss at work. Let's see here. Right there is the culet, to that very tip of the stone. Look how that's flattened off. Normally, that comes to a point. So that's the culet of a gemstone. And I've mentioned it before, but now I can point to it. There's the culet. That's the little tiny point. Now, normally, it comes to a pinpoint. Normally, there is no kind of I've always called it the belly button of the stone, but when you look from the front, look at that kind of little dead spot right in the center there. Right in the center, right there. You're viewing the culet from the front of the stone. So there's that little dead spot. I've always considered it the belly button of old stones, and I'm sure gemologists just absolutely can't stand me. But that's okay. I can't stand myself sometimes either. So, all right, let's see here. Okay, there we go. So focused in again as I get distracted, but I wanted to show you the cuts of the stones as well. Note the color of that gemstone. Look how it's yellow as opposed to the saturated blue. It's got a yellow kind of aura to it, if you will. But boy, oh boy, look at it light up. When it's in these lights, look at it light up. And I'll just let you take that in. I'll let the light go across it. Now you can see why I absolutely love blue zircon. I love all colors of zircon. I'm fascinated by the gemstone, and I hope this encourages you to not only find it, but I hope this encourages you to go out and do more research on it and find out more information about it for being such an old and early gemstone that was revered in jewelry. I challenge you to extend the information that I'm willing to give you in this visual library of things that I own. So I now know the baseline, and my intention of my channel is to give you that jump start to kind of get you completely, whether you're advanced or not. Maybe it will refresh someone in their collection and make them reinvested in collecting, or maybe it'll start a new collector, or maybe it will inspire someone to go out and look at the wonderful world of gemstones. Some of the museums have remarkable collections of gemstones, and rightfully so, because Mother Nature created some of the most beautiful things on the planet. But there is a zircon brooch that just really got me going. And then I'll sneak that out of the way, and then kind of the grand finale. But here's the thing about this is, let me zoom out just a little bit more. I fidget with the camera way too much. And again, I appreciate you not judging my chaos. So these rings, and I know you're probably like, oh, wow, what are we looking at? Well, you're looking at all blue zircon, and let me explain why. You might say to yourself, well, why are you singling out blue zircon? Well, that's what the video is about. Aquamarine and blue topaz can easily be confused for blue zircon. And aquamarine, is it as expensive? I think they're parallel, but blue topaz, unfortunately isn't as revered because it's not as rare. And I won't get into picking on blue topaz because I love it and I collect it as well. But look at this one as an Egyptian revival with the stylized lotus. This is in platinum. This is solid platinum. And look at the gallery, how this chevron design underneath the gallery, right there, this chevron design. Oh, and if you came for my fingernail polish, thank you. I just got them redone and I chipped it already. And by getting them redone, I mean I did them myself. So for all of you that don't like my nail polish, I did it on purpose to drive you crazy. All right, so back to the video as I get distracted again. But look at the culet. So again, right dead center, there's a culet in this gemstone. So that's a single facet that goes across where there would be a point. Now, there's a lot of reasons why they did that, but mainly it was for wearability, and so the stone didn't chip. So that's basically why there is a flat facet back there. But look at the way they cut this step cut, fantastic, six-sided Art Deco blue zircon. Center stone on this one, I believe weight estimation was, I'm going to draw a blank on this one. I think it was 11 something carats, 11 and a half, I think. 11 and a half or 12 and a half. That's on memory. And the last time I had this looked at was probably, I would say on this one, maybe like 15 years ago. But yeah, there's slight scratching on the surface. So note that. We as blue zircon collectors don't mind that at all. We really don't. At least I don't. I just know that it comes with the territory and you can have that rebuffed. But the mounting as well. So blue zircon, fantastic Art Deco. And then we're going to take a look at this one. And I only have a couple more minutes. Let's wipe this off. I only have a couple more minutes. This is also another fantastic Art Deco example, and I've had this one for a very long time. Again, this was not thought of as a blue zircon, and this is one of the most it's one of the most deepest colored ones that I own. There are triangular shaped blue sapphires in the shoulders of the mounting, and this is completely hand fabricated as well out of platinum. A little, let's see here. Yeah, that's a single cut diamond, I believe. Yes, single cut diamond, another single cut diamond on that side. Yep, single cut. You can see it's like saying, hello, I've got one facet across the top, and then just a couple on the sides, and then platinum. Remarkable mounting on this. Very angular, very deco. Says I am in the heart of the 1920s. Do not confuse me for Edwardian, and I would say I won't. I will always say that you are Art Deco at its best. Almost an Egyptian flair on this one as well, but I loved that emerald cut blue zircon. Loved, loved, loved. And again, these really light on fire. Their fire and their effervescence is fantastic. Now, this one's my favorite. And yes, there's a severe amount of wear across the top of the stone, but this one, my. So, a transitional cut from European into contemporary, modern, brilliant. Look at the crown of the stone. So, usually the stones don't sit up this high. Normally the table of the stone, or the top facet of the stone, this table would be much, 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 much lower. It would be way down here. Let me move this out of the way again because it's focusing on that. Now we're clear. Now we're clear. Let me hold real still too. And if you came for dirty hands and dirty fingernails, you're in the right place today. I worked all day, and then I don't think about cleaning my hands before I come on camera. So yeah, look at the depth of the crown. Look at this, gigantic. Very much so like a big piece of candy, like those ring pops we used to wear back in the day. So that's the way you can tell an old stone as well. Yes, tons of abrasions and tons of scratching on the surface of the table. But then this crown is so tall. I'm going to get lost in this ring because it is one of my favorites. So I'll kind of back off of it for a little minute and let you just take it in. So there you go. And let me lighten up this a little bit so you can see the power of that stone, because we're talking very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And single cut diamonds on the outside. So again, single cut diamonds on the outside. And a beautiful let's see here. Nope, yep, an 8-prong mounting on the center stone. So it's 4 prongs divided. So it's basically 4 prongs. And then they cut it here so that they didn't chip the stone when they set it. So it has less tension on that stone because it is so soft, and they knew that. But yeah, look at that, and look how deep the stone goes. Look how deep that stone goes, and that mounting being platinum, absolutely fantastic. And someone might say, oh, that's broken. Yep, there's a bad solder seam right there, and someone tried to repair it with gold solder. You can see that as well. I think it's marked on the inside. Let's see if it's marked. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Iridium platinum. There we go. IRID, and then platinum, 10%. Fantastic. So when you see that, that marking, you're in the platinum family, and you're in the driver's seat, because for deco, you're in probably some of the finest jewelry of the deco time period when you see something like this. I wish I could put it on a stand and just let that be the outro, but it's not going to work. So yeah, there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bearing with me in my insanity. And I just wanted to show you some of the blue zircon and some of the colored zircon. Again, you know how I end this. I love you. I'm sorry for the pandemonium of me getting out of here, so I'm not late, because I really do want to keep my job. I appreciate you so much. And again, I hope this inspires a love affair for you, for antique jewelry and for vintage jewelry and for the love of gemstones. So I will be bringing more videos like this very, very soon. If you want to, in the comment section, if you want to ask me to show specific gemstones, that's fine. But I most certainly will be bringing out a lot more videos in not too long. So remember, blue zircon, very expensive gemstone. It outweighs and outprices blue topaz. It's a historical gemstone of great importance and great beauty. So I hope I inspired you today. I think that was my goal of this video, and to show you some of my samples. And I will definitely be bringing more zircon jewelry out in my videos. So thank you oh so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing me out. And you know how I end this. I absolutely love you, because I do.